What's good, party people? This is According to Woods, and I have the esteemed honor to have a Brazilian Jiu-jitsu brown belt, a judo black belt, and the newest signee to LFA, one Tabatha Ricci. Tabatha, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm pretty good. Just finished training.
And where are you getting your training in? Are you at Paragon in Ventura?
Yeah, I'm Paragon right now. Yeah, in Ventura.
That's amazing. So, I mean, how long have you been associated with that gym?
So since I got here, so it's been like 2 years and a half.
Okay, that's cool. That's
And that's
cool.
good.
Now, obviously, we first met at the submission on the shore in Long Beach, which
Right.
is kind of funny because they're having another show in San Pedro this weekend, so that's cool. But you were proudly wearing the Paragon colors and emblem on your back as you competed on submission on the shore.
Right.
How does that an all-female sub-only tournament in the US. What does that mean to you as a grappler yourself, female grappler? What does it mean to you that those stages are here for female athletes?
I think that was a great idea. What they do in the tournament, ladies have a high potential, and I think jiu-jitsu is made for girls because we are so folks. We are simulate the things more, and I think that's great and make more the women's grow and be visualized more and more appreciate the same as the guys. That's pretty good. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And
Now, when you first started training, what was it? Was it more judo or jujitsu or a little bit of both?
so when I got into the martial arts, I started judo because my dad is a black belt in judo. So he right away got me to training. So I started when I was 6 years old. Then I get into then I started Muay Thai, and then after Muay Thai, I want to do MMA. So I went to Jiu Jitsu.
Now,
Yeah.
obviously, as a young girl with a judo black belt as a father, did you feel any type of pressure? I mean, obviously, we hear about like Mackenzie Dern, her dad, Megaton Diaz, this legend in the sport. Did you feel any pressure to kind of live up to what your dad had done?
No, I don't feel any pressure. My dad always support me what I choose. Obviously he never gonna thought I gonna be an MMA fighter, but he let me follow my feelings and my dream and my heart. So I don't feel any pressure. You know.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Now that had to feel pretty good because I mean, within the last year or two, you have become a judo black belt yourself. That's got to be pretty cool.
Yeah. Actually I got my black belt in Japan. I was there for a Seiza event there, and then I have the opportunity to meet the Omigawa. He also fought in the UFC. He's awesome athlete, very good, very great guy. And then he gave me the steps and helped me.
Wow, that's got to be amazing. And I mean, to get a judo black belt in Japan, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
literally the very start of the sport. I mean, hundreds of years ago, judo started in Japan. So that's another cool thing that you got your black belt
And
in Japan.
yeah, actually, it was my dad's dream, so I made for me and for him same time. It was great.
That's so brilliant. And
Uh,
those are those stories that you just cannot make up. Even the best Hollywood writers can't make up a story such as yours.
yeah.
Now, obviously, we mentioned submission on the shore,
Mm-hmm.
and there's other competitions like Fight to Win, the EBI Eddie Bravo Invitational. There's so many competitions and paid competitions for athletes of jiu-jitsu, but definitely for females. When
Mm-hmm.
you first started training in grappling in judo, did you ever think that women would have the platform that they do now?
No, I don't. Actually, I don't. No. I don't think we had that space. I think we still like getting the space for girls. We are having the opportunity to show our potential, to show like we can do the same as the guys. So we're still building that, and it's still like growing up. I think we're gonna get bigger, and more ladies gonna come, and it's gonna be more challenge. Yeah.
No, absolutely. In many ways, I feel, is in all of the combat sports, but, specifically with MMA as well as jiu-jitsu, females tend to be right now in 2020 kind of where, the males were 25 years ago when the
Yeah.
UFC or Pride first started, where, a couple people knew, there might have been one or two stars that you could pick
Mm,
up and what have you, but it's grown exponentially. One of my favorite um, promotions, that aren't the UFC is Invicta, because I think
yeah.
women have a lot more to prove, and the finishing rate and the style and technique that happens in that promotion, and not just in Invicta. Anytime there's a female fight on a amateur or pro card, usually those are the most exciting to watch.
Yeah, it's get more attention because we are so delicate and so aggressive in the same time. So I think that create more attention for the public to watch it. And I think before, like especially in the UFC, Dana White said he never gonna put a ladies fight. And then when he started that, and Ronda Rousey asked to him, "Oh, give me the opportunity. I'm gonna give a good show." And then he said, "Okay." And then boom, she got a big star. And then he changed his mind. I think
Yeah,
we get in there. Yeah,
that's a really, really fun story, right? Because I mean,
yeah.
Dana White, when Ronda was in Strikeforce, and had
Mm-hmm.
just beat Misha Tate, it was one of those deals where he was asked, Dana White was asked point blank, if we'll
Mm-hmm.
ever see any women, in the UFC, and he emphatically says no, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
10 years later, 10 years later, there's four divisions, and going into Fight Island, one of the title fights is a female contest.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Who is gonna believe that? Ladies growing, we are dangerous.
Absolutely. Now, I've touched a lot about your grappling, right? But you, again, supplemented your judo with Muay Thai. Um,
Hmm.
where did Tell me about that sort of training? Where did you go to learn Muay Thai, and the differences between, a grappling sport versus standing up and striking?
Yeah, so I started my time when I was 15 years old. So I really get good at that, my striking. And then when I get to US, I train in box and knuckleheads with Coach Ross. So I try focus on my box more, and then I stopped a little bit fight my time MMA for 2 years to focus on my grappling too, and then I'm ready to come back to MMA and get sharp in all areas.
Man, I love you.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
mentioned knuckleheads. I love
yeah,
Coach Haas.
yeah.
Um, you
Really,
know,
yeah,
Yeah, he's brilliant. His work with, world champion boxers,
yeah.
and
Tony
then in MMA,
Ferguson too. Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
And then, in MMA, he's worked with Michael Reyes and Froggy Estrada for Combate
Mm-hmm.
Americas. I mean,
Victor
pretty much
Garcia. Yeah,
absolutely.
very good guys. Yeah.
So was that, I mean, when you located, came to the US and ended up in the Ventura area, was that kind of in your head that, hey, I'm going to go to Paragon, I'm going to go to uh Knuckleheads, or did you just kind of find your way there?
So actually, I was married before, so the guy showed me, met me with Franginha, and then I get to the Paragon in Franginha. Trained Tony Ferguson before, and he knows Coach Ross. So Franginha introduced me for the Ross, for the coach. And then since that we were together.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
amazing. And again, Virginia and Ventura, I mean, literally half a country away, one side of the America and to the other, but it just shows that the combat sports community is so small and tight knit.
yeah. Yes, so it's small. Everybody knows each other, and everybody like to help. So that's the cool thing, because they know at the beginning is hard, and then it's very cool to see we building the career and see motivated me and the evolution and everything. So I'm very, very grateful for all of them help me. Yeah.
Excellent.
And then,
That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, again, with your, the transition from judo to stand up,
yeah.
what was kind of the hardest, aspect of training a traditional grappling art, and then now
Hmm.
you're standing and striking. I mean, what did you have any difficulty there?
No, I think the stamina is kind of different. No, jiu-jitsu totally different. You guess for stand up, but I didn't have any like difficult. No, I think I have a good coordination, and I did pretty good. Yeah, and the transition between that was fine.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's super cool.
yeah, that
Because
was fun.
it is tough, right? I
It is
mean,
tough. It's tough. It's different words. Yeah, it's different words. Yeah,
and you conquered them both, so that's pretty cool.
yeah, that's awesome.
Now, in terms of your MMA career, leading into the LFA, what was that like? I mean, what promotions did you fight from, and how far in your journey were you when you took your first MMA fight?
So my first MMA fight, I was 18 years old. It was in Brazil, and I think the name was BMC. It was São Paulo capital. Um, was fast. I think I submitted the first round. I didn't get too much punch, so it was more the adrenaline. And then at the second fight was next to my city, and I think I fought like 3 rounds. Was more punch, and then I felt more, and I was like, "Wow, I love that." And after that, I went to Japan. I stayed like a year there, fight for an event they call Seiza, with more like sambo, with arena sambo. We had like strike rules, we had judo rules. It was pretty fun, pretty fun. And then I
That's
came here.
cool.
Yeah,
That's super cool. Now,
yeah.
now, obviously, I mean, you've competed in judo and jiu-jitsu tournaments, before, and some big, some small tournaments. But
Hmm.
how does that compare to, fighting in a ring or a cage for MMA?
It's totally different feeling. The adrenaline, the pressure, people watching you, but you have to really work your mind. I think that's more important. Your head had to be like 100%, and you gotta be try to separate the things and it just focus on yourself. You think it's a very hard work to do, but as a fighter, we gotta learn how to do that.
Yeah,
Mm.
and that's the thing. There's so many emotions going through,
Mm-hmm.
a fighter's mind, kind of whether it be doubt or even trust in their training and coaching and what have you. Then, there's a bunch of mitigating factors that,
Yeah.
it makes it unique than any other
Mm-hmm.
situation.
Exactly. It's the feeling like only you're gonna feel. It's hard to explain the feeling to somebody. It's
Yeah, man,
different. It's different than fighting Muay Thai. It's different than fighting Jiu-Jitsu. You go there or you live or death.
I can only imagine, having gone to so many fights and what have you. I'll get a commissioner like, "Hey, you should work a corner or whatever," and I'm like, "No, I'll stick to interviewing because even wrapping up the hands and checking. I
Yeah.
mean, that not enough is a little bit more anxiety for me, let alone
Hmm.
actually stepping into the cage."
Yeah. Especially when they lock the cage, you say, "Damn, I have to go. There's no way. It's the time."
My goodness, yeah. Again, and that part to me, it never, no matter how many fights you watch or attend live or whatever, that
Hmm.
doesn't get old. And the person, the individual person's reaction to everything that's around them.
Yeah.
Some you could see the jitters. Some you're like, whoa, they're not nervous at all. What's going on? Like,
Yeah.
and it's just different sides of the
It's so
same coin.
different. Sometimes people doesn't show his nerve, but inside they're like super into. So everybody's different. Some people show, some people don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it's funny that you say that, and we're talking about LFA because
Mm-hmm.
Jacob Rosales, who's a lightweight title contender on one of the title fights that is going to be happening in South Dakota in, I believe, 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
He said he's scared every time. This is somebody much like you who has trained at his gym since he was like 12, 13, and now he's, in his 20s and had a bunch of fights in his career and fighting
Uh-huh.
for an LFA title. And he's just like, I'm scared every time I get in there, but I have to, just kind of close in, listen to my coaches and whatever, and, figure
Yeah,
out the rest.
it's so crazy with public or not public. Even when like if I jiu-jitsu like a crowd around me, I I don't know how we do that, but we can like just hurt your coach. People can scream around, can be a lot of noise, but you find a way you can just focus in you and in your coach. You can just hear his voice. Is a lot of
That
that.
that's almost like a superpower, right? All of these
Yeah,
hundreds
exactly.
of voices, and you can hear your coach.
Exactly. I don't know how we do that. It just happen when we fight and when we in the training. I think we get used to that a lot, and then it just happen naturally.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's often wondered, right? And I wonder that myself. How could, no matter what the sport is, it could be football, soccer,
Mhm.
MMA, jiu-jitsu, and what have you. We're all essentially born in similar circumstances, right? We're all, two legs, two arms, one head, and everything like that. But what makes a world champion different than me, right? And you
Mhm.
pretty much hit it right on the nail. Like the ability to be able to tune everything out
Mhm.
and go, hey, this is my mission, this is my coach, and this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, everything counts, the details. And you gotta find, you don't go to compete, you gotta dominate, you gotta show you dominate your category, what you do, and try to be the best every day.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, obviously, signing with LFA, my goodness. Obviously, they are now on UFC Fight Pass. They just announced. I mean, not just announced, but within the last month, they involved their first set of shows during the quarantine, and it's four title fights all in a row.
Hmm.
They are essentially the path to the UFC, right?
Yeah,
What does it mean to you to, at this stage of your career, be able to sign with LFA?
I was super happy and very grateful for the people who helped me to get there this contract. And then I couldn't imagine when I came here gonna sign it straight with the LFA. Like I thought I'm gonna be in the small shows first, and it's been kind of why I don't fight again. But I think people trusting me on my work for a show, and I'm very excited to show them and improve. I can do that. I just have something side to me, and it's been hold for a long time, and now is the time. And I have people entrusting my work and what I do, and I think it's gonna be great. Yeah.
Absolutely. The
Yeah.
last couple of LFAs that I've attended, guys like Curtis Malender uh,
Mhm.
fought and then ended up in the UFC. Now he's with
Yeah.
Bellator.
Mhm.
The last fight was, Jamal Emmers. Jamal
Yeah.
Emmers, and he headlined that card, and he ended up in the UFC almost, a couple of
Yeah,
weeks later.
it's a big connections that I think LFA is the most like big show. LFA and Invicta is a big shows. You can go open doors from the UFC straight. So I'm very very excited for
Yeah, man, that's I'm
it.
excited for you because again, we talked at Submission on the Shore, and you were
Yeah.
excited to see where this MMA journey would take you here in the
Mhm.
U.S., and you've
Yeah.
definitely got your answer.
Yeah, definitely. Happens so fast.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they often say, and one of my favorite sayings is the
Mhm.
fact that it takes a lifetime to become an
Yeah.
overnight success,
Yes.
right? So you might say it happened pretty fast, but you've been in the gym since you were
Oh yeah.
very little.
I say it happened pretty fast to like after submission the shore, and then all these years, 2 years I've been here, I have folks on my trains all the time, and then like boom, the contracts there. So I know we have been training all life, and then like in 2 years, change your life.
And yes, this is
Yeah,
exactly a life changer, And I
yeah,
was going to
yeah.
mention at the last LFA card in Orange County that I attended. I mean, Christian Aguilera, he had a
Mm-hmm.
huge win at LFA and then goes into the UFC on short notice, and
And
I mean, knocks a guy out and wins an extra $50,000. He got the
wow,
performance of the night bonus right from LFA to the UFC.
yeah, that's so cool.
That's
Yeah, that's
amazing.
amazing. Yeah. I'm very
Now,
excited.
yeah, exactly. As well, you should be. You should be.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's talk about some of your downtime. Obviously, you're in constant training and what have you. But I mean, is there anything that you like to maybe listen to motivate you, or even on the, maybe after your fights or anything? There's like you've been cutting weight for like 6 weeks and what have you. Is there any particular foods that you like to kind of get into? Anything that motivates you?
I love to eat, so after fights, I really want to have like good meal. Something I was thinking when I was cutting weight. So I like to go eat, especially. So I'm gonna look for good food. Actually, I love pasta. So after I cut weight, I'm gonna eat like pasta, some carbs. That makes me very happy.
Carbs do make you happy. I'm just
Yes,
saying,
so
whether it be
happy.
cake, pasta.
Makes so happy. I love pasta, and I also like sushi. That's all my favorites. Yeah.
Sushi is a good one as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, I mean, you're signing with the LFA.
Mm-hmm.
What? Obviously, there hasn't been a date set for your debut, but what impression do you hope to make? Once you enter that LFA cage.
I think it's gonna be in August, the fight. We don't know the date, but I think it's gonna be in August, and I'm ready for.
Yeah, man. And Otto Weiler says, "What about In and Out or ice cream?" He wants to know.
Yeah, ice cream's good. One of my favorite too.
What's your favorite flavor?
So when I go in and out, I always like to get the Napolitan milkshake that they mix all the three ones. So good.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's actually
Yeah.
funny that you say that. My mom is from the Fiji Islands, right? But
Mm-hmm.
when we first went to the In and Out here in LA by Universal Studios, she just saw chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, right? And didn't
Uh-huh.
know that they were individual flavors, right?
Right.
And this is way before like the secret menu or anything like that,
Oh,
right? She just saw vanilla, strawberry, chocolate, right?
yeah.
And when she was just like, "Oh, can I have a chocolate, strawberry, vanilla shake?" The lady was just like, ma'am, we don't have all three." And she was like, "Well, can you just make it?"
Can
And
you
I'm not
just
saying that my mom was the start of it, but in my mind, she started
pretty sure she started that. That's so
it.
cool.
That's awesome. That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Now, obviously, you're a tenured, grappler in both judo, jiu-jitsu, um, and you have a stage, right? You've competed in some of the biggest grappling competitions, and I mean, going into the LFA, that's a huge deal in terms of your MMA career.
Right.
What impact would you like to leave on other, female grapplers or grapplers alike in your journey?
Um, I think you girls as a grappling or starting right now, the the wait's long. The first thing you can not give up. If you have a dream or if you like the lifestyle and the what martial arts bring to you. It can be any martial arts. It's not just the training, you not just be there every day, but what the martial arts bring to you as a person and inside of you. You create a family, we create a community. So this is for all your life. Nobody's gonna take you that for you. And your connections is like you make a family, it's forever. So I think that's very precious, and that thing is gonna be for you for all your life. It's not just be there and training hard and show you can do the things. It's more about that, and also brings you a lot of happiness, good feelings, and more confidence, more strongness. And so you gotta keep going. It's like not gonna start like in the martial arts 1 month and 2 months. You think it's that's not for you. You gotta try more than 1 month and 2 months. Then you can feel if that's gonna be for you or not. Because martial arts bring you it's knowledge, just training, bring you like something deep inside. Only who does it know the feeling. And if you want to start, if you're already beginning, you gotta feel that, and you of course gonna fall in love, because everybody start always come to me say, oh, thank you, I love being part of the family, and then is that's forever, yeah.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of
Hmm.
family, Ingrid Salto goes, "That's my sister."
Yeah, she's in Brazil.
Congrats. There you go, man. And it's kind of cool that with your journey, you're taking
Hmm.
so many people along for the ride, and
Yeah,
you're picking up fans, but also people who become family
who become
in
family,
your
yeah.
group.
And it different around the world, you can like people from everywhere, like you go to Europe, you have a friend, you go to Brazil, so there's a lot of connection. It's huge. And people from martial arts they always open their arms for you and want to take care of you. So that's awesome.
Absolutely, because I
Yeah.
mean, now, but I mean, any other time in the world, like everything seems so divided. But it's like
Mhm.
us here in the combat sports community, we
Mhm.
we don't see any of it because it doesn't matter what religion, doesn't matter what you believe, who you marry,
Yeah.
how you voted, none of that matters because right here on the mats in training, that's who you really get to see who people really are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think the same.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then Ingrid is chiming in again. She said she's so proud of you and that she loves your heart and miss you every day.
Oh, I miss her so much. Love you.
Excellent. But
Mm-hmm.
I know you're in the midst of training. You're set, ready, and set to make your Bellator. I mean your LFA debut. But you come from a bigger community. Let's get some shout outs out of the way to the people that have helped you get to this point in your career.
Okay, so first, I'm very grateful for my family in Brazil. I love you so much, and of course, I have my second family here. Like, open the doors for me. I live in the house. Frangie, Erica, they are everything for me. And of course, my training partners. If you know you guys, I'm never gonna be able to have a good trainings and to be a good athlete. And of course, I help you guys too. And my boxing coach, Ross, Alex, do my condition training. He just killed me today, but I like you. And a Black House, everyone's training with me. So I have the best coach. I always say I have the best team next to me, and I appreciate all they do to me. And I love you all. So we're gonna rise together, and we're gonna make the dreams come true.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so sweet. That's amazing. Now, for those who haven't already joined the kind of community of love that you are on and want to follow you on social media, where can they find you, my dear?
So you guys can find me on the Instagram. I think it's the most popular now. So it's my name. I think is there in the on the phone. So it's Tabatha.Ricci. So you guys can hit me there and follow my week, follow my trainings. I'll be posting.
There it is.
Mhm.
Well, Tabitha, it's so cool to have seen you get to this. I mean, we've known each other just a short time, but I know how much this kind of opportunity with the LFA means to you. So it's very, very cool to be able to see you um, get that contract, and what it
Mhm.
could mean for your future.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it, Adam. I'm very
Excellent.
excited for it. Yeah. I know the pressure is big, but we're gonna make it. We're ready and we're gonna do that.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
follow Tabitha on her Instagram to find out when the latest fight development will take place. But thank you guys for joining us. I have been According to Woods with Tabatha Ricci, and we are out. And wait. Chris Saito says, amazing.
Cool. That's
Amazing.
my
You're
mom.
amazing. So it couldn't. Yeah, we gotta shout out everyone
Cool.
here. But thank you so much for joining us. I know you just got through with training. You literally got killed, and you were able to do this interview with me. So I'm so appreciative.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Excellent. All right, party people, we are out. Thank you guys for joining
Bye.
us. All right.